Hello and welcome. We have today third round of sixth season of MRO Accion.com, the most popular and I think the strongest league of mini racing online on our servers. Today we have third race in Estambul Reverse. That is a race which will have a place in reversed version of Istanbul, Turkish circuit, which contains Turkish Grand Prix from 2005. This race in Turkey is one part of calendar of Formula 1 races. That is third round, and after two races, these are a classification of our league, of our drivers championship, and here Pablinho from Argentina, Argentinian Renault driver, is 2 points ahead of Magic driver from HRT, Spanish team, who won the race in Silverstone, race which finishes in controversial way. Third place Luigi GM, 9 points, back of Pablinho. Fourth place Seyu, fifth John Gar, and sixth TW, a driver who was the champion of first season. These are our results from Silverstone, after Silverstone, and these are our results from Silverstone race, which finished in controversial way. There were a lot of problems with the server, and after in pre-last lap, that was the finish of the server. Session was lost. Something surprisingly happened, and Magic, who was leader in this moment, won that race, but these players who were on our Oro, the strongest server, that was more than 20, that was 24 players, and these guys didn't finish this race, but admin of our league, Libra, decided to not lose their chances, and he made provisional results, which are finished result of Silverstone race. So Magic won. Second place was Pap, and third Seyu. This is situation from last laps in Silverstone. These two Argentinian drivers were fighting for second place. Fourth Luigi GM, 5 TW, who compete in offline today. TW is offline too. He is not competing in online servers. 6th Pavlo, 7th Cesar King, and 8th Najarany. Not good start for Polish drivers. 9th Iceman, and 10 Libra. That were 45 players today, so last week. So it's good situation for our league, that we have a lot of drivers in our league, and now we have our server in a reversed version of Istanbul, and we have Pablinho, who is now driving in practice session. We will see if maybe Polish drivers will gain bigger points, will gain better places, and now we have to see how looks this reversed version of Estambul race. And this chicane which was on the finish of the lap of normal way of Istanbul, is now the first corners. So I think that the first corners will be very exciting, the first corners in the race, because after start we will have braking to this very slow chicane, and we will see who will manage with this chicane. Of course, I think that there will be some problems with this chicane. Someone would could hit the barrier and finish his chances on first laps. Of course, finish to go with the top of grid to in first part of the race, because I think that if someone is if someone is very fast and if someone is good prepared to this race, he wouldn't have problems. Nayarane is now leader, and Nayarane was the winner of the practice session. Of course, the practice session does have no matter, and now 9 players will go to qualifying session. Qualifying session very difficult because we have only one time lap, and drivers have to focus and concentrate on this in 100%, in 120%, because if someone will do bad lap, if someone will do slow lap or hit the barrier, go over wide the circuit, or made some fault, it would be very trouble for him, because starting from last place on the grid. But I think that it's no big problem if we have no more than 10 players, because last week we had 20 players, and there were some guys who made faults in their time lapse, and that finished for them with starting from 20th place on the grid. Now Pab is starting his time lap. Pablinho, who won the race in the first Shanghai Reverse, and in Silverstone that was second place for Pablinho. This guy who beat Pablinho in Silverstone, Magic, who drive fantastic in Silverstone, is on circuit, and I think that he will be his opponent. But after a practice session we don't know anything, and I think that now everyone want to be very fast. Zalin 42.2, and that's now a provisional pole position, but I think that Pab will of course beat this time. Of course, it's 41.1, and a great time. I think that that will be top position for him. Pablo from Poland is now 33.0, the slowest time, and he is now on fourth place. Nayarane, very bad lap. Nayarane will complete his lap, but it will be 6th position, and Pablinho is the winner of qualifying session. I think no problem, because Seiyu is slower by 1/8 of second in second sector. So Pablinho is winner of the qualifying with 7/10 of advantage. He is the fastest in qualifying, and he will be a favorite of the race. He won the qualifying as on Shanghai Reverse. He won the qualifying as in Silverstone, so it's third qualifying and third pole position for Pablinho. The fastest guy in hot lap, and because Pablinho has a lot of many world records in our list in MRO. So Pablinho, the winner of the qualifying, and he shows that he is very strong, and he wants to be first in this race. He wants to have first position, not as Silverstone when he were beaten. Lypra second place. Lypra, who is admin of our server today, as I can see. Second row for KVN and Seiyu. Third row for Magic and Zalin. For Magic, that was race of his life. That was the biggest success of his career in MRO. Kirkito the Estambul, of course. Now 9 guys to go. 9 players. Of course, it's reverse, so they are starting opposite to the grid on the second place, on the second side of this straight. Magic, winner from Silverstone, he is only in 5th position. Only 5th position for Magic. But of course, these are only position on the grid when we don't have any accidents in a race. I think that 5th position with good start can exchange with 1st position, for example, in first corner. Situations like this are often in racing mode. Of course, if we don't have accidents. Here we don't have any accidents. Sayu, fourth place, he's on the grid now. Server blocked the entrance of new players, so I think we hope that there wouldn't be any problems like last week. Last week we have some suspicion that these problems with server were made by someone who broke this server, but now we have start of third race. We forgot for all the problems, and now who is the leader on the first corner? And that is mistake for Pavlo. He is the only one player who made mistake in first chicane. Lypra from HRT is now the leader, but there's a group of players who fight. Biaf 19 is out and out of the circuit. Sayu is the leader. Magic is now on only in 8th place. Pavlo is on the last position. Nayaran is 7th. Not good start for Nayaran. Of course, we don't know what tactics are contains the teams. Of course, we don't know. But Sayu, I think that he's very right because he goes ahead of his opponents today. I think that it's different strategy for Renault drivers. In Silverstone they had very similar strategy. They were going to the pit stop in almost the same time, and that was strange strategy because the first half of the race, more than first half of the race, they made in one stint, but after that they didn't make a pit stop, which were on the full second half of this race. Magic is on the pit lane. I thought that there were some problems with Magic, maybe some lags, for example. We don't know because Magic is a great driver, winner of last race, and now he is the first driver who didn't finish the race. We hope that not technical problems like on Silverstone. According to this tactics of Renault, of Argentinian drivers Sayu and Pab, they made something strange because they made shorter stops than anyone, and they have two very short stints, and that was bad strategy because before going to a pit stop they had great strategy. Even if they will have more fuel in their cars, I think that these two drivers should be on in first position. Lypra and Magic were drivers who had the most aggressive strategy, and they were going wheel to wheel in the first half of the race, but after stop, when Magic gained some 2 or 3 seconds, Lypra made some mistakes driving long, and that was not a good finish of the race for him. Sayu is very fast, but Calvin from Mercedes, Spanish driver, is now reducing this gap. It's now smaller and smaller. Pap is going safe on the third position, but I think that of course Pablinho is going on one stop. We can read that from his driving that he were very slow on the start, and we could see that in Shanghai Reverse, we could see that in Silverstone. I hope that today Pablinho would make mistake with his strategy. KVN is very fast, and now he is going with DRS. Of course, DRS is there is a system which is allowed on this circuit, and that was no problem for KVN. He is now going ahead of Sayu, and is the leader of the race. Pablinho third place. Pablinho is now losing 2 seconds to these two leaders of the race. Lipra 4th, Zalin 5th, Nayarani 6th place. No, Biabi is 6th place, Nayarani only 7th. Very poor race for drivers from Mini Racing Online.pl, KVN and Seiyu. Now Seiyu can use the DRS, and now Seiyu is leader. No, Mercedes is very fast on the straight, and DRS didn't help KVN, didn't help Seiyu to overtake KVN. Third place Pablinho, he is losing the time, but not as much as in first two races, when he had a great gap to his opponents who were lighter in the start of the race. Maybe Pablinho is a better driver to compete in hot laps. Maybe with tactics there is not as good for him this one stop, but he is not losing very much, and I think that if he goes one stop less than his opponents, he could win this race, of course. Lipra has more than 2 seconds advantage of Zalin. Zalin has a great advantage ahead of Jabi, and now Nayarani made next mistake, and he is on last place. He's on the last place. Maybe that was and it's a mistake from Jabi, and these two drivers from Racing Online.pl are going to position 6th and 7th. But Zalin, the fastest lap for Zalin, it's a surprise, of course. Maybe he is the lighter car on the track. If someone is going to 3 stops, he would stop, for example, 9th or 10th lap. I think that anyone will decide to have tactics like this. Zalin is going closer and closer to Lipra, and Pablo made the fault next time, and last place for him. And this Javi, who is fighting with Nayarani, that is the only fight now. And Pablo, it's fatal race for him. Very, very poor. And Seiyu, I think that Seiyu is going on a 3-stop strategy, because as I thought, if someone is going to 3-stop, he will go now. And Seiyu was very fast at the start of the race, and maybe 3 stops. We will see, of course. Seiyu now is out on 5th position. Maybe he will be very fast. KVN is leader, and it's a great gap, because he has 3.5 seconds ahead of Pablinho and Pablo. And it's his fault. He went too wide. Pablo, who were not great prepared to this race, who made a lot of mistakes, is out, and is second driver on our Oro server, who will not finish the race. Pablo and Magic winner of from Silverstone from last race. Pablo, not great for him. That is second place, where Pablo is riding poor. Pablo is legend of Polish MRO. I think that Pablo in the top form could be great opponent for these guys. For example, KVN, Pablinho, Seiyu, and now Lipra is going to pit stop as second driver after Seiyu. Of course, he will go behind them. Zalin, who made fastest lap, that was of course great surprise, and Zalin is not going to pit. I think that now someone could, for example, no. I think that 10th lap is a strategy of 2 stops, not 3. So Seiyu will go. I think that Seiyu will go on 2 stops, and now KVN. I think that KVN made Pablinho fastest lap. Of course, he will go on 1 stop. It's no any way that done this. KVN long pit stop, and I think that he's going ahead of Seiyu. Yes. So he gained, but that's not very much advantage. Less than second, and now Seiyu could don't make DRS, and he will catch up, of course, Skyby, and now it's fight for second place, Pablinho. Of course, he's not going to stop. I think 3 laps for him to go on stop, as I thought, and it's now a fault from him. It's not good situation, because this in laps, laps, 1 or 2 laps before this stop, these are very important laps, because now the driver is very light, and he can make good laps, good times, and maybe gain some seconds in front of his opponents. But that was a mistake from Pablinho, which costs about 2 or 3 seconds. So I think that Seyu is not going on strategy of 3 stops. It would be a murder for him. So of course, or some suicide. He wouldn't make 3 stops. 2 stops are, I think, for him. 2 stops for all drivers who are in pit stop now. And Nayarani, who is on the 4th place, were not on the stop. And now that is virtual 4th place for him, because drivers who are ahead of him, who are behind him, have 1 stop, and Pablinho 15th lap, and we will see if he will go on 1st position. It's Seyu who overtake KVN. That was some fault from opposite of KVN, and Seyu is going on the straight, but Pablinho is taken lead from the race, and now he is on a great position. He is now on a great position to win this race. Of course, if he wouldn't be on a pit lane next time, it would be a win for him. If he will be the next time, he is leader now. Seyu will be 2nd time on the pit lane, and he will be next time on the pit lane, of course. Maybe first 2 position on Oro for Renault. I think it's possible for them. IBN, who had fantastic first stint, made 1 mistake, and now he's not holding us a great pace as these 2 guys. Rani is a driver who is as last competitor in pit lane. Of course, that is last pit for him, and virtual 4th place. He will go out in 6th position, of course, because Pablo and Magic are not competing in this race. Javi is very poor riding in this race, but 2 drivers from Renault are now fighting. Maybe they are fighting for 1st place. We will see, because Pablinho's speed wasn't very long, so maybe he's going on 2 stops. I think it's possible. Very strange strategy, of course. We will see if drivers from offline or drivers from 2nd serve, because today there were not a lot of drivers. On entry race. Of course, in result, these are more players who are not announcing this. They're riding and they drive on the server, but we had not very much drivers, and now Seyu is on his 2nd stop, 18th lap, and we will see. That should be longer stop if he don't know. He will go on 3 stops, as I told in first version. Some suicide for Seyu. It's very different. It's very strange strategy. Some experiment for him, of course. We will see, but he is going to pit once again, and that would be 19th. That is now 19th lap, and he will be. I think that he will be next time on 27th lap, maybe. Of course, Pablinho. I think that he's not going on 1 stop, because it's now time 42.1, and maybe he will go under 42 next time. I think that he go to a pit stop very fast. We will see, of course. KVN is 2 seconds ahead of him. Very strange strategy for Seiyuu. Of course, his speed was only 5.8 seconds, so I think it's not possible that he will go with this pack of fuel to finish of the race. Maybe Pablinho will go next time. No, of course not, because he was on 15th lap. So maybe 2-3 more laps, but that was short bit for him. As I told at the first time, Seiyuu is going on a three-stop strategy. Very different from other opponents, and very strange. Of course, he's going fast with all the race, but he will go one more lap, one more time, and Nayarani, for example, who is now on 6th place, will not invite his mechanics in pit lane, so maybe Nayarani ahead of Seiyuu, different of course, but Seiyuu is of course faster. It's different because he's very fast and he don't have to have some help like third stop. But these are drivers, these are teams, of course. We are only supporters and we can only think something about that, but maybe they know better. Lypra in second stop, and it's the last pit stop for him. He will catching up Nayarani, who now went maybe 4 seconds, 3-4 seconds ahead of him. Lypra will have more fresh tires, and Pablinho is going very fast. Fastest lap for him. He gained next 10th of a second. Now it's almost 3 seconds ahead of KVN. Zalin third, Seiyuu fourth, and Seiyuu made a mistake, but we know that he will be on a stop next time. Zalin, of course, who was the first, Zalin, of course, will be next time, but he had some advantage from Seiyuu, maybe not podium for Seiyuu. Different strategy. Strange, of course, and Pablinho next time. Of course, the last time, and KVN! It's a fault for KVN, you saw that. It's very poor for him because he made a mistake. He exceeded allowed speed in pit stop, and that is not last stop for KVN. He will have a drive-through penalty for him. Of course, we will see that. Yes, of course, exceeding speed limit in the boxes. So very annoying for him. I think that he was going second place, that was safe second place for him, and now he could lose that because of this very stupid fault. He wouldn't gain any position, he wouldn't gain any seconds. He will have to go the next time, and now he's in pit lane. Of course, in this time that was Zalin in the pit lane next time. Lost his third place. Now he's on the third place, and he is going to the finish line with safe third place for him. Seiyuu, he will go to the stop. I think 1-2 laps for him, and we will see if he could be on the podium. He's very fast. He's faster than Zalin now, and maybe he will gain as many seconds that it would be possible to go out ahead of him. And now, fight for a podium. We will see who will be on the podium now. KVN second, but of course the result will be a mix for these two servers, and we will see if that will be enough for a podium. Of course, Seiyuu is going on the third place. He was very fast and great for him. Nayarani fourth, and he will be not in the pit lane, so it's fight for fourth place for Ferrari. But Nayarani made mistake in the first corner of chicane, but Zalin, who went further, made next mistake, and he hit the barrier in the second corner, so everything is now status quo, but Nayarani gained about half of a second. Stalin have to catch up him. Seiyu third. Of course he had not any chances to catch Kai Vien. Of course Nayarani, his tires, maybe after this mistake, these tires were damaged. They were tired, and Nayarani sixth place for him. He's going behind Light Russell. Polish drivers in poor condition in first three races. They don't make any confrontation with rivals. They have no chances with them. Very difficult. Pablinho is going for win to this race, and we hope, of course, that it wouldn't be a situation like last week when we had loss of the server in pre-last lap. I think that was last lap, of course, maybe, or pre-last lap. Is going to quit lane, of course not. He is a leader of the race. He will win this race, and I think, in comparison to different results, he will be the winner of this race. Second win in three races. Strange strategy last time. Seiyu, with this strange strategy today, lost his second place. Of course, Kai Vien with his drive-through penalty would be on the third place, and that would be no chances for him to be ahead of Seiyu, who is very fast today. But of course, they are very fast drivers. Maybe they want to have some fun with strategy, to have some challenge in the race, but that was very difficult strategy and very strange. Pablinho 41.7. Now he shows who is the champion from this first part of 6 season MRO Accion. He shows who is the most valuable driver, who is the fastest driver. I think that we can tell that he is the fastest driver in the world. Maybe it's true, but of course we have a lot of drivers all around the world. But I think that Pablinho shows that he is great driver. Next, fastest lap. And this is show of the champion, and this last lap for him. Maybe fastest lap again, but it's not important. Of course, he had pole position, third pole position, in third qualified. And what's the most interesting in this fact, that these are qualified with only one time lap, and 3 times back to back he could manage to focus on this one lap and be faster, more faster than his opponents. And now he is finishing the race. Pablinho is the winner. Kai Vien made some mistake, maybe some problems with his tires, maybe it's a chance for Seiyu, but these are last corners, and I think that Kai Vien will save his second. No, it's a problem with fuel, and if he goes, yes, off. That wasn't any mistake for him. He has run out of petrol, and it was meters. If this lane of finish lane would be on the finish of this straight, he wouldn't finish the race. So very ridiculous finish of this race. He is on the third place. He lost a lot of time. He was in drive-through penalty, and he ran out of petrol. That was 5 seconds gap, 4 or 5 seconds gap between Kai Vien and Seiyu, and he lost this gap. And on last meters he had run out of petrol. I think, of course, that is fault of him in the pit stop. So next time we will have, of course, to gain more fuel on our car. So these are final results. First 2 places for Argentinian, but of course we don't have results from second serve. I think that this race has finished now, maybe. But Pablinho is, of course, the winner. Only one small mistake in barrier, so no problem for him. We will see if Say will be on second place, third KVN, fourth Zalin, fifth Laipra, sixth Najarany, seventh Javi. Maybe we will have, of course, our website, MROAccion.com. We will see if we have, for example, our results in championship, in actual championship, of course, miniracing.online.com, MROAccion.com, and we will see Estambul Reverse if these are results from. Yes, we have results, and Pablinho is the winner of this race. Luigi GM second, third place TW, who was driving offline, and he lost 6 tenths of second to second place. So Seyo is not on the podium, but he lost only 3.5 seconds to second place, and he lost only 2 seconds to podium. So very difficult situation for him, because he lost because of his sprint strategy. And KVN, I think he is the loser of this race, because drive-through penalty, bad fuel, of course, and now KVN 20 seconds, so he lost 6 seconds to second place. I think that if Seyu, who could have normal strategy, and KVN wouldn't make these mistakes which are not connected with driving skills, that would be a podium Pap, KVN and Seyu. But we have a podium Pablinho, Luigi GM and TW. Not great attention to this race, so we hope that next time we will have more drivers, of course. Fourth round of this season would be normal track, India boot circuit, which had his debut in Formula 1 races in 2011. And India are forefront. I think that Polish driver will be great prepared to this race, because of in mini racing online.pl Polish league, that would be around next time in Sunday. Yes, on Sunday. So maybe here we will see if, for example, Pablo is as strong as he can to be. And India is the next stop of our league. Of course, you can go to our website. There we have a forum, results, comments of our drivers. For today, it's of course the all, and we will see next time, Wednesday. That will be Wednesday, 5th June of 2013. Of course, 10:30 p.m. and we will have next meeting with our drivers. It's third round now. That will be fourth race, so we will be closer to the middle of this. Thank you for today, and see you next time for next week. Big Mac TV. See you next time.